All right, we're back here in the Rock Cave here at Song of the Day. I'm your host, Mark Pierce. Today is Tuesday, April 21st, and we're going to go back just 4 years ago on this day when we lost the great Prince. It was a pretty shocking day for all of us that are music fans. Hard one to wrap our brains around. But let's talk about Prince for a second. I could probably talk a lot longer about Prince than I will. But most of you that are music fans already know a lot of the facts. So, for the majority of us, Prince was a big part of our lives from about 1983, 4 until the early 90s, 1991. That was where he put out the bulk of his hits. I was introduced to him because I had MTV in 1982 and 83, and they were playing 1999 and Little Red Corvette all over the place. So became a fan there. And then obviously when Doves Cry came out as a single and the Purple Rain soundtrack came out, that pretty much cemented it for all of us. That album is pretty much like a miniature greatest hits. Every song on that album is fabulous. I think they released something like 6 singles off that album. And it was number one on the album charts for half a year, like 26 weeks or something like that. My two favorite tracks from that album are actually Take Me With You and Beautiful Ones. And When Doves Cry is up there too. Interesting point about 1999, when that came out, it was actually a double album, but in some countries they put it out as a single album and removed like 4 tracks from that album. I don't remember if I had the full cassette or not, or record, but I do remember the fact that in 1990, when they released the CD of it, it was missing DMSR, which is a great song. And if you haven't heard that in a while or you're not familiar with it, make sure you listen to DMSR. That's a great tune. But also on that album, International Lover. You don't hear that one very often. It's a pretty long song, but that's a great one. Another interesting thing about him is that he put out a total of 39 albums. He was very prolific, and 16 of those albums were in the last 16 years of his life. So from 2000 on, he released 16 albums, of which the most of them were probably material that we weren't familiar with, but there is some good stuff in there. A few other good mentions. The album Diamonds and Pearls has a song called Get Off, where there's a remix version of it that is phenomenal. I mean, it's just some of his best stuff. And then the Symbol album, where he changed his name to The Symbol, that has Seven and My Name is Prince. I was a huge fan of My Name is Prince. Not everyone loved that song, but I think it's a great song. And we can't go on without mentioning, of course, that he wrote No One Compares to You, which Sinead O'Connor made famous. But if you check it out and go back to hear his version of that song is pretty awesome. So we're going to go with a song today from Purple Rain, and we're going to go with Take Me With You. That's your song of the day. We'll see you on the flip side.